Seller Tip Saturdays. Fuss, muss, and all the makeup today because I'm on appointment, hence the reason why I'm coming from my car. And y'all in the comments saying, you shouldn't be recording while you're driving. I can chew gum and walk at the same time. Thank you. Save it. So this one is going to be a little bit of buyer and a little bit of Seller Tip Saturday. Today we are going to be talking about the buyer that has to sell their current home in order to purchase their next home. This one's going to be fun. Pretty long too, probably. So buying and selling at the same time is like a fine-tuned waltz. Like perfect timing, perfect place, perfect partner, perfect song, well rehearsed, all the things. So tip number one for the buyer / seller that is in this scenario, you need to be hiring the same agent to represent you on the buy side and the list side. That is the only way you are going to be able to perform this waltz as seamlessly as possible. That also means that you're going to be interviewing agents, and yes, you need to be interviewing agents before just going with whoever Tom, Dick, or Harry you found off Zillow, to make sure that they not only are experts in listing a home, experts in helping buyers buy a home, but also experts in working with buyers that have to sell in order to buy. There's reason for this because that agent, when they are acting in the capacity of the buyer's agent, they're going to have to write the offers for you, and they're going to have to write them in such a way that you have enough time to get your house on the market, get it prepared, get it on the market, get it under contract, and all within the due diligence for the house that you're purchasing. On the flip side, they're going to really need to have some awesome vendors that they can call in favors with and all that stuff if your offer gets accepted, because we're going to have to move quick. You always want to go out the gate 100% perfect. Marketing matters. I preach on this all the time, especially when you have due diligence, earnest money, inspections, and all that on the line for a home you're buying. I really encourage my sellers, hey, if you're thinking of selling your home and purchasing, call me out to your house. I don't care if it's 6 months down the line. Let's go ahead and get the ball rolling, because there's things you can do in the next 6 months that are going to make a drastic difference for how stressed you may be getting your home ready to list when you find the perfect home when we start looking in 6 months. Or on the flip side, let's say you're not planning to look for 6 months, but the perfect house ends up on the market in 2 months. Well, we've already got much of what you need to do out of the way, and we can actually move on this home that you love, that's your dream home, without stressing you out more. I even take it a step further, and I will have pictures made in the fall. So think like August, September, October, when the grass is still green, flowers are still blooming, it's not all dead and brown looking, in anticipation that we might be listing in February or March. That is a thing. So if you're thinking of selling next year or in the winter, give me a call and let's go ahead and get started. Shameless plug, I know, I had to. Now, I have sellers that will go ahead and put their house on the market before they've found something that they want to buy. And yes, that is risky, because what happens when your house sells, but you haven't found anything you love? You feel backed into a corner, forced, rushed, and that's never a fun feeling when you're buying a house. Typically, the best case scenario for this situation is to get your home on the market, get it under contract, negotiate a lengthier closing time frame, and then begin searching for a home after the buyers for your listing have completed their due diligence process. This is the safest way to ensure that the house you're selling sells, nothing falls through because of negotiations, you don't feel pressured into giving repair concessions or anything like that because you're under contract on something. All of that. It takes off the stress from that, and we can find you something good in that time frame. And if we can't, we can set you up with a month-to-month rental. Or even better, we sell, close, you go to a month-to-month rental, and then we wait until we find you the perfect home. Understand, a lot of people don't want to do that. Moving 2 times is not fun. But then you have the eager beavers that we put your house on the market, and you're so anxious that you have to find something right away, and you don't have an offer or contract on your current home, and you go under contract on something new. Let's talk about that. Well, now you're at the mercy of price drops, pressure, desperation, all of that. I'm not saying it can't happen with a good agent. You can negotiate longer closing time frames. If you have a very good agent that was forethinking, they would have negotiated an automatic closing extension in the initial offer. I myself have done this. We've been under contract for 5 months before on a property because we negotiated upfront extensions because I knew that their home was going to take a little bit longer to sell. All of these scenarios are vastly different, which takes me back to why it's important to have not only a listing agent but a buyer's agent, and why you should have the same agent working in conjunction for those two transactions. Another reason it's important is that agent will be skilled in how to get a contingent offer accepted, which in our market has been hard to do in the last couple of years. How do we find these things, Alexis? Well, there's this beautiful thing that agents in the greater Charlotte market can pull called a market report. So whenever you're interviewing agents, you simply ask them, please bring your ranking report from MLS that shows me what your production is, your production, not your team's, and you can actually see it split out list side to buy side. You want someone that is between 50-50 is ideal for this situation, but you want someone that is pretty even Stevens. You don't want someone that's 95% list and 5% buy, or vice versa. The reason being is if you look at someone that's roughly 50-50 on buy side and list side, chances are the majority of those clients had to buy in order to, or had to sell in order to buy. That is generally how it goes. That is where most buyers agents get their first listing from, is someone that called them to buy a home and they had to sell in order to buy. So always ask for that ranking report from the interview, and it really gives you a clear picture that Zillow can't. Zillow oftentimes won't have certain properties. Sometimes agents like myself work in different MLSs or do a lot of new construction. Sometimes those don't show up on Zillow. This is the best way to truly get a picture of the expertise that your agent has. Then look at their reviews on Zillow. Zillow. Look at their reviews on Zillow or other websites. And I say Zillow because Zillow will make sure that the reviews you're seeing are from actual clients that this agent worked with, not their mom who thinks that they're the #1 agent in Charlotte. Those reviews will often have some verbiage in there: helped me sell and buy, was a great listing agent as we were preparing to purchase, whatever the case may be. Alexis, North Carolina, South Carolina agent in the greater Charlotte market. If you're thinking of buying, selling, or both, give me a call or shoot me a DM, 704-773-2117. Be sure to like, subscribe, or follow me for more real estate tips, tricks, stories, and all the fun things.